Hello everyone and welcome to a Thursday movie review with me, Angela of Morbid Heart Designs. Today I want to talk about a movie that is actually not listed as a horror movie on IMDb, but I do count this as horror myself, and I have actually had many conversations over the past year regarding this particular movie. It's called Pan's Labyrinth. I'm not the only one who is on the side that this is a horror movie. It should be listed as a horror movie. I mean, this movie is directed by Guillermo del Toro, who is well known for his horror movies, for his creature designs, and this movie can get very uncomfortable and scary in multiple ways. First, there is a lot of gore in this movie, and this gore is very realistic. Just as an example, you do get somebody's face beaten in on this movie. You get to watch it, so there's your disclaimer. If you don't like that, you don't want to watch this movie unless you can find an edited version, because it is a great movie. Then you've got moments with monsters that you are literally holding your breath for the character's safety. And I have seen this movie so many times in my life, and every time I see this movie, I still hold my breath and I know what's gonna happen. Like, I don't really need to watch it again, but I do because it is so wonderful. Pan's Labyrinth takes place in 1944 Spain. This is post-Civil War. There is still a lot of chaos and whatnot going on in the world. So we are following the journey of a little girl who's lost her father. Her mother has remarried to a military individual who is a sadistic asshole. And her mother is pregnant with this man's son. So that is the basics going into the movie. Our main character's name is Ophelia. And upon arriving to her new home, she meets a fairy who takes her to a labyrinth where she meets an old faun. This faun tells her she's actually a princess. In order to get her proper place with her parents, she must survive 3 tasks. If she fails to prove herself, she can never see her real father, the king. These tasks definitely are challenging to her, which is where a lot of the horror and less gruesome parts, in my opinion, come to play. The gruesome parts are all affiliated with her stepfather, who's a complete asshole. This movie has won 101 awards. That is how amazing it is. It has awards for things like the cinematography, the art direction, the makeup, this being a foreign film. It is subtitled in Spanish. I should have prefaced that at the beginning, but it is a really good foreign movie. Costume design, production, sound, visual effects. There is so much awesome going on in this movie. It's just hard to describe sometimes. I will say some of the CG does not hold up over time. I've watched this movie since it came out in 2007. In 2007, was it 2007 or 2006? 2006 is when it came out, according to IMDb. I've watched it a lot since then. In 2006, I just remember it like blowing your mind away with how awesome the CG was. And it still looks okay, but you can tell it's more CG than I remember watching it the first few times. Because I will say it's been a few years since I watched it, and I rewatched it happily. I bet you're surprised after knowing how many awards it's won and how I have talked about this movie. You're not going to be surprised that this gets 5 Zombievers out of 5. So that is another horror movie review down for me for this year. I had a hard time deciding between the faun or the character, the pale man, for this video, as they're both really amazing character designs. So stay tuned this upcoming Tuesday to see the coloring of the pale man, who was also from this movie. I will have different voiceover for that. But it was really hard to decide between the two, and I figured, why not do both, because they are both brilliant. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already so you'll be notified when that video is live for your viewing pleasure. Make sure to follow all the social medias as well to see what other things I create and what I'm up to. From my dark heart to yours, have a wonderful day, and please don't die before my next video.